Alright, look everyone. George Washington never cut down a cherry tree, but he did really like cherries. Over my last few historical videos, I've kind of been dancing around the concept of the Founding Fathers, and I figured, you know what? Let's just get it all out of the way. Let's get all the weird little quirks about these guys out there, and then I can move on and do something different. I'm gonna start with my boy, George Washington. He didn't wear a wig. That's his real hair. He did it up every day. He was dedicated to his hair. Coming back to the Madisons, James Madison was our shortest president. He is 5'4" tall and weighed 100 pounds. So he's the smallest guy. A lot of people in Washington allegedly didn't like him because he was short. So if you are the height of James Madison and you can attest that people just automatically have issues with you because of your height, then you've got a president who felt your pain. Then we've got Thomas Jefferson, who did a whole host of interesting things. So he received a gift of 2 grizzly bears by someone, and he decided to keep them on the White House lawn in a cage for 2 months. Grizzly bears. So he's definitely got like the craziest pets that any president has ever had. On top of that, he would spend upwards and beyond $1,000 of current day money a day for groceries because he really loved entertaining. Subsequently, he died bankrupt. During one of the years that he was president, he spent current day money $226,000 on wine alone. So that is, that's a lesson to be learned. Don't waste your money on expensive food. In the vein of alcohol and such, so on and so forth, Samuel Adams, the guy synonymous with beer culture, actually wasn't much of a brewer himself. His dad sold hops, and his son became a maltster, but Sam Adams was far too invested in politics to really care about the beer business, so he wasn't really that much involved with it. It's interesting that that's kind of become what he's known for today, and he barely contributed it. One thing that gets missed in the musical about Alexander Hamilton is that he actually started the New York Post, which was originally called the New York Evening Post. So created the newspaper that is still in circulation. Possibly of more interesting note is Benjamin Franklin. Now last week we talked about how Benjamin Franklin liked spicy chocolate ice cream, right? But he actually liked a whole host of strange kind of food stuff. Very much an experimenter in the food scene. He had recipes spanning across the whole culinary spectrum, among which was mushroom catsup. So ketchup, as we know it today, is a form of catsup, tomato catsup, but over the years it's just changed into ketchup, which is easier to say for us Americans. But there are many forms of catsup, and mushroom is one of them, and that was Benjamin Franklin's favorite. You may already know this one, but Benjamin Franklin also invented bifocals and the lightning rod. That one's the cool one. Benjamin Franklin was also very beloved, and so when he died, 2/3 of Philadelphia, 2/3 of the population of Philadelphia came out to his funeral. So at the time, that was only 20,000 people, but still, 2/3. It's a lot. John Hancock, the guy who wrote the largest signature on the Declaration of Independence, said that he wanted King George to be able to read his signature without putting his glasses on, and that's why he wrote it so big. However, the names that were on the Declaration of Independence remained secret for a while because they didn't want the names to get out and then all of them get, arrested and possibly hung for treason. But they still sent it to King George, so I don't know how they got around not getting caught after sending it to the king, but King George was so enraged by John Hancock's audacity to put his name so big that he put a bounty on his head. But then John Hancock allegedly said that he was disappointed with the size of the bounty at being only $500. Another cool thing about John Hancock is he was a smuggler before all this. So he was, as I was reading about it, he seems like a regular Harrison Ford. He would smuggle tea, rice, and other things to the States to avoid having to pay British taxes. So, you know, he already hated the king way before then, I guess. The list of all this interesting fun facts goes on almost indefinitely. Every single guy who signed the Declaration, every guy who was a member of the First Congress, every guy who was a major general in the Revolutionary War. There's so many different interesting and fascinating tidbits and facts here and there about those guys that I could go on probably for weeks. But you guys don't want to watch a video that is several weeks long, so I'm going to cut it short here. And you guys can explore the rest of the stuff on your own. But these are the things that stood out to me as the most interesting things. That is a brief summary of the fun facts of founding fathers and adjacent men who were present in the foundation of American history and the government thereof, presented by the people who were used to be British citizens and all that kind of stuff. While you're here, go ahead and tap that subscribe button so that you can stay up to date with all of my videos, which I release one video every day between Monday and Saturday. Each day has a different theme, and you can come back on the days of the themes that you like or watch all of my videos. Either way, I'll see you tomorrow, and remember, you are allowed to wash your hair twice in the shower. So you don't have to do it just once. You can wash it twice if you really feel it necessary. So